excited to be here with you. All right. Hi, everybody, and happy Friday. We made it online, Danielle.
Yes, we did.
Thank you for your patience. I am here today with Danielle Wellington-White. She is the founder, managing partner, and CEO of the Wellington-White Portfolio. The Wellington-White Portfolio is a full-service property development and construction execution firm. And
Yes.
if you think I'm saying that like I don't fully understand it, you are correct. But Danielle's gonna set me straight. We're gonna get into all of your brilliance. Danielle is a construction industry guru and real estate development advisor. Before establishing the Wellington White portfolio, she was a director at Amazon, where she directed a construction portfolio for the company on the East Coast from Maine to Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Rico. She's
Mhm.
also the founder of Beyond the Green Executive, an amazing experience we all had last year. A golf and leadership experience for high level executives. She launched this last year, and it was an event where I was honored to be a keynote speaker. Danielle, you and I met. Has it been 3 years now or two?
So I think so. So we've gone two events. So I'm assuming it's going into year three.
Yeah, yeah. So we met at the Florida State Minority Supplier Development Council conference.
Mhm.
I remember there was a group of women business owners who had set up this intentional gathering, and I kind of gravitated toward it, even though I didn't know, because that's what I do. I just show up, and we've been in touch ever since. I just so appreciate you and respect you, and I'm so happy that you're here. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here. I'm like, this platform was one of my goals.
Oh, goal accomplished, goal achieved. I'm so happy to hear you say that. So, Leaders Talk Communications is we explore how executives in different industries manage communications at their business or their nonprofit. My goal is to have other leaders hear your story, gain insights from you, to help them better navigate their own leadership communication. And then I always have the dual purpose as well. I want communications folks like me to hear from leaders like you so that we can better support and serve you, and understand your language and the way you think of communication so that we can better help you. So let's jump into it. Let's go. Tell us about the Wellington White portfolio, Danielle, a bit of your origin story as well. And then I want to know what inspires you the most about the work that you do.
So the Wellington-White portfolio is a development firm that also does real estate, but we're focused primarily in the South Jersey market.
Mm-hmm.
Core of what we do, it's not just building buildings and managing projects. It's building relationships, building opportunities, and also outcomes. So we are really focused on an end-to-end process in delivering an owner's dream, a plan, a portfolio, an idea. We love working with ideas, and then we love driving by these ideas that have become fully executed buildings. So that's what we do. That is who we are. And there is the part of our name that says portfolio. And the reason for us having a portfolio is because there is a clear intent of gathering a conglomerate of businesses, especially minority businesses and those who are fully underserved. Hence the reason why Beyond the Green Executive falls under the Wellington White portfolio.
Ah, awesome. Now, I want you to just clarify when you say owners, just tell us what that means. Who are you talking about?
So we are talking about individuals who own real estate assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking at the commercial world, those are the Amazons, the Microsoft, the hospitals, the higher education, which are schools. And then when we come down to the real estate world, or the actual residential world, I should say, you're talking about owners of multi-unit buildings, owners of perhaps 5 or 6 townhomes. So there are different stakeholders and there are different caliber of owners or categories of owners, I should say. We have
Mhm.
our commercial owners and we have our residential owners.
And you're helping them manage their portfolio of products.
We are helping them manage their portfolio of products. We also own a portfolio of our own,
Oh,
which there's an amazing dynamic happening there where as we are working on our own stuff, we're learning, we're identifying risks. So with this, we're able to apply not just learnings, but our lived experience
oh,
to these folks who hire us basically to manage their projects and run their portfolios
yeah.
and support them in their entitlements and their permit processes and executing the build product.
Okay. I know you're so amazing. So what is it that inspires you most about your work? And maybe that'll lean a bit into beyond the green. But what is it that inspires you most?
So what inspires me most about my work is not the work, right? So ironically,
Oh,
I've been in the construction and engineering field for 26 years. I'm doing the math, so I'm 45. I started off before I hit 20. Uh, so I
yeah,
am I'm aging myself, but whatever. Um,
you're still a
it's
baby
not
to me.
the actual construction work itself, but it's the people that the work reaches.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know my story. I was in corporate America, did that my entire career. And the past, I'd say 23, I think we're 2 years old actually. So the past 24 months or 2 years, I should say, we are we have been managing projects where we're partnering with the community, and that is where I get my excitement. That is where I find so much value because we're able to engage young adults. We're able to engage individuals who are second chance, right? The actual society would say they're second chancers because they've, been incarcerated or they did not graduate college or they have a story that had a bump or a pause.
Hmm.
Um, and I get excited working with those people because I often say it only takes one event or one lack of control experience or just, making a silly decision and there goes I, right? We're not perfect in any way, shape, or form. And the folks that we're able to reach in doing our construction projects and managing projects for owners, for other owners, these folks, those people could have been us. It could
Yeah.
be my child. I do have a 25-year-old. I appreciate her. I love her. Thank God she's on the straight and narrow. But again, right, life could have been very much different for us. So my passion is the people that we're able to reach.
I
When
love
we sit and we talk about we're picking up a particular piece of real estate and we talk about this, is for designed for the agent community. Now I have full autonomy, full responsibility, and just aligning it with, just to be honest, my God-given purpose. The
that.
the
That's aging community, right?
Yes,
Aging. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
it's the 55 and older
Wow.
community. We do get an opportunity to build for them. We get an opportunity to build for the otherwise abled.
Hmm.
Um, and again, it's 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 a very exciting environment to be in the role that I am currently assigned
Yeah. I
by my
love it. Yeah,
almighty.
I love it.
I
Talk.
get to taste a piece of, it's almost like you go to Cheesecake Factory and you order the cheesecake with like all the samples. Like that's how I feel. I don't have to stick to cherry. I don't have to stick to caramel or Oreo or whatever it is. I could have cherry, caramel, Oreo, pineapple, like whatever I want. I feel satisfied because I am reaching the underserved. So
Love
again,
it.
I know
Yeah.
long answer, but that's what
No,
I love.
Oh, well, I mean, it demonstrates your passion, right? Like you're showing your passion. It actually really segues nicely into my next question. I was going to ask about the different stakeholders that you engage with. Who are they? The people that you have to influence and inspire, um, so that you can do your work effectively and obviously like support the growth of your business. Talk a bit about who those different stakeholders are, and I want to know where you, as Danielle, like where do you thrive in communicating with them and connecting with them?
So depending on what side of the fence we're sitting on. So I'll speak from us managing our own projects, driving our own product. We're often partnering with investors. You're
Hmm.
also engaging with operators and authorities having jurisdiction. You're engaging with legal teams. You're engaging with architects, engineers, vendors of all caliber, tier one, tier two, tier threes, subcontractors of all calibers, procurement specialist, even down to like stores like Lowe's. I have a very good relationship that we've built with Lowe's. So there are a number of uh, folks that we do have to engage, right?
Yeah.
We do have to, for lack of a better word, sometimes I say entertain because it feels better. It lands better when I feel like I have to entertain you. It means that I have to bring the best Danielle to the table. I have to do what I need to do to ensure that you feel safe, you
Hmm.
feel understood, and with that, you're able to trust me, right? So
And
I would say,
oh, sorry, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry. So I would say, like one of the strongest communication asset I would say I have is it's the ability to bring people together in a fashion where they're seeing a vision and not just quote unquote work, or you didn't just hire me or I hire you. With the projects that we're now pushing out, and we have two townhomes coming up out of the ground in South Jersey. When I meet vendors, the first thing I say, I'm desiring to build a relationship. I'm not buying a product. I'm not buying a service. So if you are excited and okay with the journey of partnering and building a relationship, well, let's go. But if all you want to do is sell your service and products, I am not going to exclude you. But I just want to make it clear that, hey, we want to engage and partner.
Yeah,
I don't like the idea that you're just a service provider, you're just a product seller, because none of us are just anything,
yeah.
right?
And if you do get that sense, maybe you won't develop a long-term relationship with them. I love this idea of you sort of like being the person connecting everybody to the vision, you know? It just feels like such a great spot for you and making people feel seen and heard
Yeah.
and so they can trust you is such. I love that you're so self-aware about that and that gift that you bring. So let's switch gears a bit, Danielle, and talk about communications challenges. I like to ask leaders, where they faltered because we learn from our failures and our mishaps. Um, what's one of the biggest communications challenges that you faced as a leader, and tell us about how you handled that.
I'd say for me personally, and although I'm talking about me, I've seen this happen over and over. I think for me, and one thing I'm very conscious of is the fact that we have a very hard time translating highly technical construction development and project management concepts, right? If
Mm.
we be very honest, we speak a totally different language. I could get into a conversation with one of my peers, and you'll be sitting on the side, highly confused. And most of us who have been doing this for so long, innately, you assume that people know.
Mhm.
And I endeavor, I do my very best to never assume.
Yeah.
Um, but also wanting to engage folks at the level that they're at. So I often ask the question, tell me what you know, right? And I would often say, act like I know nothing, right? Let's have a conversation from scratch.
Yeah.
Uh, how this translates in business and or day to day. So I told you we have investors, we have to deal with the authorities having jurisdiction, government workers, people of different calibers, interns. We do a lot of
Yeah.
intern partnerships in the summer, right?
Yeah.
And that's just one of our ways of giving back.
Yeah.
One thing that we do at the onset of every conversation, we create what's called an opportunity study. So
Mm,
the opportunity study identifies the product, all the different variables and variances, and just the inner workings of this thing. So if there's a property or a piece of land or whatever, the first thing we do a full assessment of this thing. And this full assessment, um, it is so dynamic that it often break down those translation lines. It's almost like money, right? It's a universal language. Um,
yeah.
this product we have seen has become a universal language, and this is what we use to communicate to like all levels of individuals who are a part of the project, adding value to the project, or desiring to get something out of the project. And oftentimes, as owners, we focus on the investors,
Yeah.
but there's a whole host. There's 99% of a ton of other people that are very much important, and I would say even more important than the investors, right? So
So when you talk about, how did you get to the point that you recognize that the language?
I think I lost you. So I'd say, Jennifer, in identifying the question you're about to ask, how did I? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I got booted out. I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
sorry about
yes.
that. Yeah, I wanted to know how, because I want to really hear about a challenge that you had with that. So I wanted to know if you, if you were speaking jargon to someone and they were like, and they didn't get it, and that, that cost you something and you learned from that. Like, is there, I wanted to know a particular example of where you found that challenge of jargon. So now I know how you overcome it by doing your opportunity study, by ensuring that you taught, you you never assume. But yeah, I want to hear about a challenge.
So I would. So let's just use the authorities having jurisdiction, right? So this is your city department that approves whatever it is that you're desiring to get built.
Hmm.
Oftentimes, that process can take forever and a day, or
Hmm.
it can just take a day. And I mean, we have tons of examples of that, but just using a specific one. I remember going into the city of Camden, where we are now, coming out of the ground with our two townhomes, which we call the Arthur Avenue model. They are models that we're planning to build over, I'd say, 105 units in the next 5 years. Having gone into this environment, I've never worked in Camden before. I've worked New York City. I've worked the Jersey market, but New Jersey, as many of my peers would tell you, there's so many towns, and every town has its own sheriff, and they
Hmm.
all operate by their own rules, right? So assuming that the opportunities that you have, that you got in North Jersey, or the risks that were realized, or whatever was accomplished, that could be cut and paste and replicated in South Jersey. Bad assumption. Bad assumption.
Hmm.
Um, However, we had an instance where, we have this particular project that we're desiring to get permits, and things started to lag, and we were trying to figure out what's the communication breakdown. What are they not saying to us, or what are we not saying to them?
Yeah.
And we had to hire, I'd say, a translator. Her job is entitlement, her job is code and zoning, and she became that middle person who she is, I'm an import into Camden. She is not. She's had her business there for a very long time. The city trusts her, the city knows her. Whatever comes out of her office is trusted. And we had to hire this individual to basically intervene,
Yeah.
translate, tell us where we were going wrong. And we did realize where we were going wrong is that we had the opportunity to do some what they call pre-meetings, so pre-entitlement meetings. Just sit with the city, explain to them, tell them what you want. They're looking for a partnership. They're not looking to be dictators. They are really truly looking to be partners. And once that happened, not only was she able to expedite the process on our behalf, but we were able to create a process that her office never worked or done before. We were able to circumvent a particular portion of the process in getting our permits and getting our property fully entitled by engaging the attorneys for the city along with our attorney. Two attorneys talked with each other.
Yeah.
They speak the same language, and they
What I'm hearing you say, Danielle, this is so wonderful because, you know, the learning that comes from understanding that you need to have the backdoor pre-meeting before the actual meeting, before you ask for the thing. I mean, this translates across so many different industries. Understanding your audience, doing the backgrounding and knowing who you're talking to, understanding the dynamics and the importance of having that pre-meeting before the meeting influences then the way that you run your business from here on out. Because I can probably guess that there's no way you go into a city now or a community without doing those pre-meetings or without doing that backgrounding. So there's such an important lesson for leaders in that. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I wanted to hear a particular example. That's awesome. Thank you. So tell me now, what is the most successful platform that you use that helps you communicate most effectively with people? Some folks have said, I really love LinkedIn. Some people say I use text messages. Some people say I meet one-on-one, face-to-face with people. What's your most successful platform or vehicle that you use to really connect effectively with the people who are important to the success of Wellington-White?
so I am in a season now where I've had to take a seat, right? So you and I have seen each other at several events over the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Um, in the past 12 months or so, or maybe 9 months, I've been tasked with some really important decisions for the Wellington-White portfolio and just everything that we're building, that I honestly, I'm sitting in this chair for most of my week. I don't like it. I love to be out. I love to be at events. I love to meet, greet, and connect with folks.
Yeah.
Outside of the constraints I have right now, my platform is face to face. I
Mm-hmm.
love going to networking events. I love meeting people. And just speaking on the topic of networking, and we've had this discussion right in groups, even when we were in Jamaica at Beyond the Green Executive. Um, I am heavy on network. I don't network just to meet, right? If I'm
Yeah.
going to meet you, I should just go and meet you on LinkedIn, drop a note. Now we're friends, and I know nothing about you. You know nothing about me, but yet LinkedIn says that we are friends, or Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
I like to create an experience, and I feel like I can only do that to the level that I want it done in person, right? So,
Mhm.
desiring to have 10 strong value add connections that will be impactful to my network, impactful to my net worth, like you, as opposed to having 200 people where we don't know each other, we don't desire to engage. So if I
Yeah.
were to say the platform, I love going out and getting out, investing in being in front of people, right? That authentic conversation. I love to assess people. Like
Yeah.
I have a shortfall where I forget the name because I am so focused on who you are as a person beyond what you're showing me, right? So I'm listening to, I know you have kids, I know you have a wife, I know you like the color blue, I know all that, but I may have forgotten your name because I'm so focused on who you are. Um, Leading to me now having to really focus on our projects and step away from that, I use LinkedIn now a lot.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I
I
am
love
never,
how conscientious you are about uh, the way that you want to engage with people, the way you want to develop relationships, and I've actually seen it in action, like the way
mm,
that you and Kirk Jimenez formed the partnership on Beyond the Green. You're so intentional about that, and I just love that about you as a leader, Danielle. My last question for you is one that I love asking. If you could wave a magic wand, what would you want the world to understand most deeply about you or about the Wellington-White portfolio? Or maybe even beyond the Green Executive? You get to choose.
so I would say the Wellington-White portfolio, right? The driver of the business, the steering wheel. I would say what I'd like for them to know is that we are a development firm that is really focused on development. And when I say development, we are covering all aspects of the product, and the product includes the individual. We have a terminology or a statement here that we do not sell services, we sell experience. Right. So
Mm,
it's almost like, why do you always take Delta? It's one of the most expensive. It's all of this. Why do you go to Lowe's? It's because when I walk into any Lowe's, anywhere across the entire USA, basically, I know exactly what aisle I'm going to because their product placement, their customer service, it is consistent. And that's the experience that they've allowed me as a customer to feel. So, similarly to the Wellington-White portfolio, we endeavor to build relationships and to engage in experience selling, right? We want to enrich, we want to empower, we want you to have an amazing experience. We don't market, right? You'll never see an ad from us because we are
don't say
resting.
that to me as a communications person. No, I'm just kidding. But you are though, in the way that you're managing your relationships. You
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
You are marketing. I mean, we're doing it right now. But relationships. But you're anyway. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we no, but you're absolutely right, right? We are self-marketing. Um, but again, to answer your question in just one short wrapping up, we want to be known as the company that gives an experience to any individual desiring to develop any type of product anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Danielle. This is man. I think you're even more fabulous than I ever realized. So, and I
Oh,
and
I
I
so
always and I've
appreciate
always
it.
thought you were pretty fabulous. I just so appreciate you, and I have to say this that women in construction is like I know it's like a small pool. Black women in construction even smaller, and so I just applaud you and celebrate you for being in that space. Thank you so much for meeting with me. I love how intentionally you communicate, and I know leaders are going to learn from you today. Thank you to Geneva. I can't say who you are, and Jude. Thank you for listening in and for commenting.
Yeah.
Sorry if I got your name right.
As
Wrong.
well, Jennifer, for giving me the platform because we do need platforms like this to express ourselves and to showcase what we're doing as women owners. So thank you so much for
You're very
doing what you do.
all right. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, everybody. Bye, Danielle.